It's time to go live. Straight to the deep end. Which is Finland, unfortunately. It's ironic that once Finland is trending, it's usually because of not good things. Which is ironic because, like, if you think about it, Finland has a really good reputation when it comes to how the world views Finland with with that, you know, starry gloom in their eyes. So it's sad to see that Finland is trending in the news for a topic like this. But to any Finn, this is not surprising. Because a secret that us Finnish people keep quite close and also secret from the rest of the world is that Finland is arguably one of the most casually and openly racist countries there are. Not all Finns, but it is systematic though. And it is taught to children on a really early age. And it's also generational. So seeing something this trending and seeing the new Miss Finland who lost her crown now do this is not really a surprise, because everybody who's from Finland or ever interacted with Finns know how casual the racism is. Ronaldo bin Laden. Interesting question. I'll still choose Messi though. So what happened in Finland? Well, if you didn't know, even though it is trending even here in Ireland, and it's trending in Asia, and it's trending everywhere. So Miss Finland's viral slanted eyes photo stirs racism firestorm. Finland's delegate to last month's Miss Universe pageant held in Thailand has sparked controversy and outrage after a photo of her pulling the corner of her eyes went viral. And it's not just her pulling her corner of the eyes, it's also the text in the photo. Oi, what up? Sarah Dzafce, who has been stripped of her Miss Finland crown, uploaded the photo with the caption, "Eating with a Chinese." The slanted eyes pose is often seen as disrespectful to East Asians. The post drew backlash in Japan, South Korea, and China against the 22-year-old and even against her country flag carrier, Finnair. And Finnair, for those who don't know, is the Finnish love from India, love back. Finnair is the main, it's not the airport, it's the, oh my god, aviation company that Finland has. And they do a lot of cargo delivery to Asia. So Finnair getting shit from this, it hits hard. And they needed to react as well. Finland's Prime Minister weighed in on Monday, saying that making such gestures was thoughtless and stupid. That's kind of saying it softly. It's a bit more than thoughtless and stupid. It's I would say even unacceptable in 2025, to be fair. She should know better. And it's also damaging the country's image. What is it called when a chameleon can change colors? A reptile dysfunction. Okay. That was a good one. Thanks, Lucifer. Miss Dzafce claimed the gesture was her reaction to a headache during dinner, which is complete fucking bullshit. She said a friend added the offensive caption to the December 11th post without her consent, according to the local tabloid Ilta-Sanomat. Well, to be fair, Swedish or German? None. Show the picture. Here we go. Here's the picture. And here's another one. Here we can see the caption. So what the caption says is eating with a Chinese person. And if Miss Finland is claiming that her friend added the caption without her consent, well, that's a class A bad friend. And I presume if her friend calls Miss Finland, ex-Miss Finland, her career, they're probably not going to be friends, right? But because I call bullshit on that, I don't think Sarah is just going to try and shift blame. If Sarah really meant that her friend posted that without consent, we should see Sarah, not having that specific friend anymore. Also for TikTok, to know what we're talking about. We're talking about the Finnish controversy. Didn't you used to play Hearthstone? I did. I haven't played Hearthstone in a year or something like that. So Sarah has apologized for the photo. Nothing it has caused ill will in many people. That was not my intention in any way. One of the most important things for me is respect for people, their background and difference. You know, the usual PR bullshit that people who get caught doing stupid stuff and they lose money for it and their career, they usually post things like that without really meaning it or willing to change. And that's just a reaction that every single Finn has done, not all Finnish celebrities, but a lot of Finnish celebrities have done that. Why haven't I played Hearthstone in a year? Battlegrounds just didn't do it for me, though. Battlegrounds was getting boring. Well, the Miss Finland wasn't the only one who decided to chime in, because, of course, those who don't know, we have one of the most right-wing governments ever. We have I wouldn't call them far right, but we had like a really, really right-wing party called Finns Party. And then we have the coalition party, which is technically a mix between Republicans and Democrats. And they formed the first proper right-wing government ever. And they haven't done shit. They've actually done more harm to Finland than good. But on the midst of doing harm for Finland and Finnish citizens, instead of trying to fix the country, the members of the Finns Party decided to chime in and double down. Sorry, I locked the phone, so I didn't hear what you said. Battlegrounds kind of got boring for me, so that's why. Are you from Finland? Oh yeah, I am Finnish. I am from Finland. So I can trust the government, right? So this is a perfectly normal reaction. This is a perfectly normal reaction when you see somebody doing a racist remark is to repeat it, right? Well, this goes hand in hand with the Finns Party, which is built on racism. Let's not... Wow, you speak English like a native. Does Finland exist? Finland does exist. What party do you like? In Finland, right? I don't know. I used to be a supporter of the Green Party. Back when Green Party was moderately right and some policies they have on the left side, but then they kind of switched, they weren't And now they're going back to like being between like right and left. So it's really hard. And I don't live in Finland anymore, so I luckily don't have to participate in their politics anymore. So, but one thing I do know that I would never vote for the Finns Party because, well, just to give a bit of context for people who don't live in Finland, if you have a party that does shit like, not just like this, openly supports racism, but also, this is just one incident that I'm gonna show for context, but there was an incident a few years ago that one of the department store owners decided to say that our president was a part of the New World Order, and he also said that the Holocaust was only a story. If you think I'm making this shit up, no. The owner of Kärkkäinen, Juha Kärkkäinen, who's the owner of Kärkkäinen, said that Holocaust was a story. You know what the Finns Party members did? Instead of condemning Juha Kärkkäinen, they started a movement to go and buy shit from them to support Juha Kärkkäinen, an openly anti-Semitic and a Holocaust denier. So it's not really a surprise that the Finns Party would support a racist remark. I'm a Middle Eastern and I don't get why they make racism so big deal, like imitating a nation is wrong, but criticizing white race for existence is don't. What? Racism is wrong. So I don't, like, you don't need to do that. That's one of the silliest things you can do. Like, literally. I had a conversation about this in my last live stream because somebody said that we were having a conversation about immigration and such. Like, when I walk on the street, when I talk to people, I don't care what color of their skin is, where they are from. I talk to everybody the same way. You know, it's not hard to be not racist. But in Finland, it is super hard to be because it is systematic and it is generational. It took me years to get out of that. Because I used to be a piece of shit as well, because I was brought up in a certain way. I'm not going to say that I'm some sort of a saint when it comes to that. Like, I used to use racist remarks and homophobic remarks really casually when I was younger. But then I grew up. It took me a long time to grow up, but I did. And unfortunately, there's a lot of man babies, adult babies even, usually men though, that they haven't grown up. They don't have the willpower or they don't care. I know people who throws the N-word so casually that it is scary. Also, when it comes to like using phrases or slang for disabled people as an insult or homophobic slurs or something. I know a lot of people who use terminology like that, and that is super casual as well. If you bring illegal lowlifes into a country, they destroy it. Well, if you have, like, I wouldn't call anybody low lives though, because that's a bit of a stupid thing to say, because like natives, there's a lot of people who would be considered low lives. It doesn't make their lives any less like valuable. Why Finland people are having such a low fertility rate even though it has such a great economy, and people just don't want to make babies anymore. It's everybody's choice. You know? We live in a world where making a name out of yourself and making as much money as you can and career is number one, and everything revolves around that. So people just don't want to make babies anymore. And it's their choice. You know, as individuals, they don't have to make babies. And greed. Yeah, kind of. kind of. Although there's a lot of like, one thing I have to give credit to Finland is like, if you decide to have a baby because of the maternity leave rules and laws, there's a lot more men staying home with the baby, which is a really good thing because you can divide your maternity leave between the parents as much as you want to. One parent can take all of it, or you can split it 50-50, or you can divide it as much as you want to. And I think that's a really good thing. Age. I just think that a lot of young people don't really care about making babies anymore. It's a big responsibility. And of course, there's worry about what's in the future, you know. The future isn't as set in stone as it might have been, like, let's say 10 years ago. So all of that combined, I understand. I have 2 kids myself. What happens when Ivan and Sasha produce millions of orcs? Then it will be a problem. What the fuck are you talking about? Read previous comment, please. Why Finland people are having such low fertility rate? What do you think is the reason that European economy is lagging behind US? You're treating European economy as one. I think that's one reason. Also, like, US depends a lot on different, and they have more like natural resources, and US has a lot more like centralized consumer base. They also, there's various different reasons, but I wouldn't say lagging that far behind. And also because like we do care about our consumers and people who live inside Europe. I know it's a difficult thing for the US, but there's a reason why a lot of US products aren't sold in Europe, and because they're dangerously unhealthy. It makes harder for foreign countries to come to Europe because you need to match our standards when it comes to safety and products, you know. Let's talk about racism. So, Miss Finland, Sarah, decided to do a racist remark. And now everybody is apologizing in Finland because it made huge news in Asia, in around the world. So the government and the coalition party that's leading the government needed to react. So the Finnish Prime Minister decided to apologize on behalf of the Finns Party, and the Finns Party didn't apologize. On the contrary, the Finns Party doubled down. I can't play what the party secretary said, but what I can tell about the things that the party secretary said was, it was slur after slur after slur after slur. So they were just fucking doubling down. What did she say exactly? She didn't really say per se. Finland for Finn is only fair. That's a statement from a person who doesn't live in Finland. Finland has always been a mix of different cultures. That's literally like not knowing the Finnish history. And I lived in Finland for over 30 years, and I studied Finland. So that's coming from a person who doesn't understand our heritage. So, like, not to ruin your nationalist remarks, but yeah, Finn for Finn doesn't really make sense in Finland because it's never been only for it's never been only Finnish. Damn, you look old. Thanks. What up, Zeno? 55. Not really. You had something else to say, or did you just come to say that? Just to know that if I can get rid of you immediately, that would be fine. Hi, Twin. What up, Con? So, the Finnish Prime Minister Orpo decided to apologize because Finland was trending in China and other Asian countries. What's going on? Finland has a bit of a PR catastrophe, which is sad because, again, as one of the only people who's from Finland in my town here in Ireland, I need to explain this shit. Oh yeah, the eyes. Oh yeah, the eyes. So Prime Minister Petteri Orpo from the National Coalition Party has apologized for the recent spate of racist social media posts by Finns Party MPs. Those who don't know what the Finns Party MPs did, well, they decided to chime in with their own, their own bullshit. They're just idiots. Hillbillies who support Holocaust deniers. And that's not even a generalization. They literally did that for years. Orpo's apology has been published on the social media channels of the Finnish embassies in China, Japan, South Korea with slightly different wordings. In the message, Orpo extends his sincere apology for the offensive social media posts published by individual members of the parliament. He adds that the posts do not reflect Finland's values of equality and non-discrimination. That's fucking bullshit. Oh my fucking god. We call this, like, Petteri Orpo, who's the Prime Minister of Finland, we call this doormat because Petteri doesn't have a spine. Because the only thing he wants is tax cuts for the rich. So he needs to withstand all the racist bullshit that the Finns Party is doing in the government. So Petteri is like literally just every time the Finns Party does shit like this, Petteri is like, okay, but we can't crash the government. So I kind of need to again apologize on your behalf. So could you not do this for the next, I don't know, month, 2 months? They will wash your dishes after Christmas dinner. What? What? So yeah, Petteri is kinda... He doesn't have a spine. I've met Petteri in real person, like, and I can tell you that. He's just a traveling ass kisser, to be fair. And when people ask me about, like, Finnish politics and Finnish government, I always say that the current government is complete shit. Oh, whoa, Eerola apologize, but not Cardew. Yeah, Cardew, like, I read the fucking message that Cardew said then. No. On Thursday, the Finnish Party Parliament group is to discuss the photos published last week by MPs Juho Eerola and Kaisa Cardew. Eerola has apologized for publishing his photo on Monday. He told the Japanese newspaper Asahi Shimbun that he was deeply sorry that his photo caused offense to Asian people. Cardew, on the other hand, was unapologetic when interviewed by the tabloid Iltalehti on Wednesday. Yeah, Cardew said that the media should apologize for her and the Miss Finland pageant should apologize to Sarah. And this is all created by the media. Again, yeah, I understand because the media force you to take these pictures. So the media just doing what media does, which is reporting that. It's always their fault, right? You do stupid shit and somebody... you do stupid shit. You post that stupid shit on your social media. And then you cry when it's get reported and it gets, like, trending and everything. Like, it's literally their MO. They do this all the time. If everybody wants to shit on Finns, just go and watch what happened on the first summer after the government was created. I literally dare you. If you want to see a shit show of like the most unhinged shit that a right-wing government can do, not just the government can do, what the MPs of that government said, did. Just go watch the first summer. Like, it was an Prime Minister apologizing every fucking week for the Finns Party. Every single week. It was a shit show. And it's been like that throughout their government. Finns Party MEP Sebastian Tynkkynen also posted a similar picture. On Wednesday, Finns Greens MEP Maria Ohisalo said that she had discussed the matter with EU Parliament President Roberta Metsola and Foreign Affairs Committee Chair David McAllister. I serve as a member of the European Parliament's Japan delegation, and such openly racist behavior directly hinders our work, Ohisalo wrote in a blog post. She noted that 8 MEPs represent not only their own countries but also the entire EU. MEPs, as they're called in Finland, are committed to acting and representing the EU respectfully. This is clearly something that the Finns Party is incapable of doing in Finland or here in the EU, she asserted, adding that the ongoing racist actions of the Finns Party are not only disgusting but also harmful to Finland's image and trade relations. 100%, like, everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. That's the reason why they're, like, majority of the people who voted for Finns Party, they are like this. They think this is hilarious. They think that being openly racist and using these slurs and doing the slanted eyes, it's funny to them. They really like it. And that's why they voted. Well, no, that's not why they voted. That's only partially why they voted. Because they also voted on lies. The Finns Party promised so many different things during their campaign, and they've done absolutely nothing other than like create PR catastrophes for the government. And everyone else are just sensitive. Yeah. I reiterate, when a department store in Finland, the owner of the department store, said that the Finnish president is a part of the New World Order and said that the Holocaust didn't happen, on top of other anti-Semitic remarks, the reaction from the Finns Party, these asshats, was to go to that department store to support Juha Kärkkäinen, who made those remarks, who was the owner of the department store. This is their MO. Hi, watching from Saudi Arabia. Hey, hi back. Welcome to the stream. Finns Party lawmakers defend Miss Finland with slant-eye gestures. Again, just a sneak peek from TikTok. Haven't seen in a while what we're talking about. So the 2025 Miss Finland winner Sarah, I still don't know how to pronounce the surname. Sorry about that. Even in Finnish, I would be having difficulties pronouncing that. Dzafce had her crown revoked for a racially derogatory gesture towards Asians, prompting ruling party lawmakers to defend her by collectively posting slant-eye challenge photos on social media. A completely freaking normal reaction, especially if you're a politician and in government. You know, that would be something that every sane person does, right? Just a second, I have freaking efficiency mode on. There you go. Let's take them off. The controversy began with Dzafce actions late last Monday. She pulled the corner of her eyes upwards with both hands during a meal and posted to social media eating with the Chinese. The slant-eye gesture is a well-known form of anti-Asian discrimination in Western countries. After public outrage, the organization committee stripped her of her title on the 11th, stating, "We do not tolerate any form of discrimination." You close to elementary schools, are you allowed? What? Yes. I have kids, they go to school. Fucking weirdo. The issue escalated with Finnish politicians' responses. Lawmakers from the Finns Party, a far-right party in the ruling coalition, organized a backlash. Juho Eerola, a member of the parliament, and Sebastian Tynkkynen, a member of the European Parliament, among others, posted photos and videos of themselves pulling their eyes upwards on the social media accounts. They expressed solidarity with Dzafce, calling the crown revocation excessive punishment. Jani Mäkelä, the Finns Party parliamentary group leader, joined the phrase, stating, colleagues have the right to criticize. I fully support them. What up, Erika? Long time no see. And unfortunate for the Finns Party and the Finnish, this got a bit of a backlash, meaning that a lot of news outlets around the world are now reporting it. How's life? Life is doing fine. Never regret moving to Ireland, especially after reading news like this. How you doing, Erika? All good? TikTok really doesn't like my split screens at all. How long was my split screen there? I think it was like, what? Freaking 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And it got flagged. Fine, working on my desertion for school. I pretty much probably butchered that though, that word. Too big of a word for me. But the ironic thing is, the Finns can't really escape the news because it's in Japan, it's in China, it's in the Philippines, it's in Thailand, it's in Ireland, it's in every fucking where. Thesis paper. Oh yeah. Now it makes more sense. Use smaller words for me. Netherlands. What? You mean Netherlands? But here's the thing I'm going to tell you all about Finland. Here's a secret that I'm going to tell you about Finland. Finland is openly and casually racist. Like, I'm not even kidding. Hey, Dop Darky, thanks for the cold popular and hard as well, as always. Like, it is so generational systematic that you hear it all the time. Especially if you go and meet people in pubs and like car garages and like metal factories, that you have those like 40 to 60-year-olds. Those are the most casually racist people. And their argument is always the same. I don't mean it in a bad way. Well, they do. Because most of the time when they use racist remarks or homophobic remarks or slurs or slang towards people with disabilities, it's not for a good way. They're not using it for being polite. They're not using it for affection. For example, this is one of the other countries keep it a secret. Finland keeps it really, really well secret. So much so that people think that Finns are super nice and like the best place to be. Unless you're people of color or Asia, from Asian or well, technically anything. And you walk around town and you just keep your ears open. Then you start to notice like, oh God, that's a bit of a weird term to use so openly. Yeah, it's really casual there. Yeah, I thought they were the happiest. Yeah, the suicide rate is insanely high, but that's because we're super depressed all the time. We drink ourselves to death. And yeah, it's just one of the examples I always like to tell people is we have a fixation when it comes to Swedish people, especially Swedish men. Like, this is something that it's probably hard to understand if you're not familiar with Finnish culture. But even as a young boy, I heard my father and people around me use terminology, specific terminology towards the Swedes. And of course, when I became a teenager, when I became a young adult, that became also my vocabulary, which is Finns describe all Swedish men as homosexuals. Every single one. They're not saying it in a nice way. No. They are literally using different slang terms for gay people and referring Swedes, every single Swede, as a gay person. Not because they like Swedes, but they use that as a slur. And that is one of the most casual insults that the Finnish people use, is homophobic slurs. They use it on each other. They use it in schools. They use it in sports. They use it every fucking where. And it's always in a not nice way. Case in point, the Swedes. And another case in point, of course, I played football. So that's soccer for all the Americans. So if you fall down and you stay on the ground too long, your teammates will come next to you and tell you, don't be such a, I think the English translation would be an F word describing a gay person, and get up. Or if you cried, the same thing. So well, I have a chatter there on YouTube that is actually being censored by YouTube, but I can happily see all of those messages, and lucky for everyone, nobody else have to see those. The F word may be a bit less often, but we have so many different variations of the F word in Finnish. Also different variations of the N word. There you go. Now you wrote your first proper message, so I can do this. My YouTube chat, I try to keep clean. We don't really need that sort of like negativity there. Especially I don't want anyone to feel not welcome in the chat. So I usually clean up YouTube chat quite well when it comes to things like this. But yeah, like as I stated earlier, and I reiterate now, I am not a saint. TT filters automatically, 100%. I'm not a saint. I have said this many times, and I reiterate myself. I was a piece of shit when I was younger. And I also was heavily interested in conspiracy theories. Like, I mean, almost to the lizard people level. Then I grew up. That's the difference between a casual Finn or a Finns Party member and adults. You look like Harry Potter. Well, I mean, I could be. I grew up. I noticed that I can change my vocabulary. I can change how I think about people. And because I grew up, I don't have hate. I don't hate different sorts of people. I don't hate different nationalities. Instead, I welcome people from different cultures. I'm happy to talk to anyone. Finnish more is critical. Yeah, the only thing similar with Charlie is we have long hair, both of us. You expanded your worldview, though. Everyone should. Exactly. And also, I think it was, I kind of realized it myself one day that how freaking casual it was. You know, just throwing those words out without thinking what it could cause to somebody, like what distress it can cause. Because I was programmed ever since I was a child to think that that's normal to use that terminology. So once I figured that out, it was quite easy. The conspiracy theories was harder because they are fucking interesting. They are so interesting that that was harder to give up. But lucky for me, I also grew up out of those. But yeah, Finns are hateful people. All of them. Is that a bit of a too broad of a statement? Nah, there are a lot of lovely Finnish people. There are a lot of lovely Finnish people. But just like in every country, but maybe even more in Finland, there is a bit more casual nature when it comes to using slurs of different sorts. The N-word is probably the most casual you can hear. If I would need to like compare it to like in the US, it will probably be on the line of like if you go to Alabama or somewhere, how casually they just throw the N-word out. But even like it's so casual that even I had people of color friends when I was growing up. Even they were using it on themselves. That's how casual, because they needed to just accept it. That's not right. Don't get me wrong. That is not right, that they needed to just accept their fate. But that's how casual it was. Coaches, teammates, schoolmates, teachers, everybody. I'm still so shocked when people say it casually. Oh yeah, I don't want to say a person's name or like my affiliation with the person, but I do have a really close person. Well, I can say that it's not my wife. I have never heard my wife say it, which is like we've been together for what, 15, 16 years. And I've never heard my wife say a single slur. But I do have a really close person, which I always correct him and say that, could you stop using that word? That is not cool. That is not right. Even in a private conversation that we're having. Because it comes out so casually. And I know he doesn't mean anything bad with it. He just doesn't understand. Maybe one day. It takes a while for other people to get rid of that. It took me a while. But you can do that. I don't understand why people want to say it though. I have never understood, like, after I stopped using it, like, in what scenario would you use that? I would not talk to that person anymore, even if it's not malicious. Usually this person stopped using it, like, for the following of the conversation. And it's not like he uses it all the time. But because I can't tell you who that person is, because I've but it is a close person. Like, closer than a friend. So, words only have the power you give them. Don't let others control your psyche. That's bullshit. Okay. Finland once had a company named Nokia that dominated the entire cell phone industry. I worked at Nokia. World is a small place. My mother used a lot of words like that casually. It will. Yes. Yes. I do share that, Erika. I do share that. Oh yeah, I worked at Nokia in 2007, 8, and 9. Or 2000. Oh, no, 08, 09. In the factory in Salo, in Finland. It was a fun place to work. One of the best companies I've ever worked for. No, actually, the '09 was the period that we started the mass firings. So yes, '08 was the golden age, and '09 was the firing time. Then there was like thousands of people let go. So I saw both sides of the world. I saw the golden age of '08, and then I saw the horrific scenario in '08 where people were literally turned back on the gate coming to the factory saying that they had like a clipboard with pictures and names who is going to get fired today, and they were turning people back. That was brutal. My ringtone has been the Nokia ringtone for like 10 years. I've never liked the Nokia ringtone. That's weird. Never. But I can tell you a fun Nokia story because like let's end it on a high when we're talking about Finland. Curling. So during God loves you, brother. Hey, thanks, Moon. And liked. Hey, thanks, yes, sir. So during '08, just when like the orders were getting slower and we were getting less and less orders. So we had a lot of downtime in the factory. So what we did was I need to show this to TikTok as well, so you guys don't feel lost what I'm talking about. I hate that I need to do this. Oh, wrong one. Is it this one? No. Wait a second. There we go. So what we did was we played curling in the Nokia factory. You might think you might be thinking, what did we use as the stone? Well, we used what we call demos. And the demo is like a shell of a phone that only has doesn't even have a software downloaded yet. So it's literally the frame of the phone, the circuitry, that's about it. And then it would be you would need to put that to download the software. Hey Ironbeard88, thanks for the sub. Hey Yasser, thanks for the sub as well. So we played curling all day long. And we were literally using office chairs like this and regular brooms to just like brush the floor. And we created a circle, the bullseye, with like gaffer tape and duct tape. That's how much free time we had. We also had races around the factory with what do you call them? No, not with those. I'm losing a word. There's the one that you actually move the packages and such. What was it? What is it called? Pallet truck. There you go. Yeah, we were having races with the pallet trucks around the factory, and the factory is literally a size of a small like not even a city center. So we were having like time trials and a forklift. No, a pallet truck. Let me show Erica what I'm talking about. This one. No, it doesn't update. Nice. Well, that went well. That went well. Well, I'm not showing you anything, apparently. Well, it was a forklift without an engine. And yeah, we just had a lot of time, and it was hilarious. I have Google. Okay, good. But I do have to say, one of the best Currently, I'm in Ireland. I've been in Ireland for 3 years. Ireland, baby! Not going back. Not going back to Finland. Not because of, like, what's the government doing on such, but I have kids, so they have better opportunities in Ireland. Which is really weird for people in Ireland. Think about that. Why would you move to Ireland from Finland? Because Finland is a really good country to be, but Ireland is a really good country to be. And there's more benefits of kids growing up on an English-speaking country if you think about their future. It opens a lot more doors than being that small little country that speaks Finnish. So I don't miss Finland. Like, my wife went to Finland just a few months ago. I didn't want to go. Yeah, fuck no. It must feel good to have free healthcare education in most European countries. It does, though. Maybe one day a lot more countries will adapt to that as well. But yeah, Finland is fucked. I came back happy. Yeah, like my wife was in Finland for a few days, and she was so relieved getting back to Ireland. It's just exhausting to go back to your home. Less birchwood in Ireland is why he moved. Oh yeah, like I have to say I haven't taken any allergy medicine since I moved to Ireland, which is really rare because in Finland I needed to take allergy medicines ever since April up until like early November. He pays for that free healthcare with double the amount in taxes, and that's even bullshit. She should. No, I don't. I think European countries need more skilled people to get their economy on track. Yeah. They're doing fine. I'm sorry, Sishu, but we don't pay double in taxes, though. You need to check your sources. I don't want to pinpoint the country of the specific person, but I would probably guess that it's a MAGA voter who believes everything those people say. But yeah, my taxes, because Ireland has a different taxation system, so my taxes are actually lower than in Finland. Not much though, but still lower, and I make more. I pay lots of taxes, but don't have any free healthcare or primary education. I don't mind paying taxes. That's the thing. That's only because no wins there. True. I don't mind paying taxes because I'm doing fine. And if my taxes help people who are not doing fine, what the fuck is wrong with that? Tell me. If I'm doing so well that I can provide my kids, my wife, and my family everything we need, and I have to pay higher taxes for that, and my taxes go towards people that don't have as much, what the fuck is wrong with that? Can somebody tell me? I don't mind if my tax dollars go towards Ukraine. Fuck Russia. Russia should just fuck back to their own territory. Ireland must be cold right now. Ireland isn't even that cold. Like, okay, well, we've been having a discussion about Finland, you know? So I'm Finnish. Any cold in Ireland is nothing compared to Finnish cold. So when people, like, of course, locals are saying it's super, like, chilly and cold already, but we're Finnish. So this is like September to us. No, Israel, supporting like Israel is not okay though. They can take care of themselves. And I don't support genocide, so that too. I pay lots of taxes in New York and don't even have free healthcare. But you have Zoran Mamdani in New York, so you might get free healthcare at some point. Barbecue weather in Finland, naked. Well, Captain's log. I have to say this. Your comment was censored, but I'll post that in the chat because I think I have the right. Yeah, I do have the right. So that was Captain's log message. Barbecue weather in Finland. To be fair, it is always a barbecue weather in Finland for Finnish people. So even if it's -20, barbecue weather. If it's not snowing, we can barbecue. -5, barbecue weather. If it's not snowing, we can barbecue. If it's +40, you will see no Finnish person outside or barbecuing. It's too hot. We can't do that. So is an American have to pay taxes for your agenda, but if you disagree with it, it's wrong. What the fuck are you talking about, Shishub? European income tax system are also generally more progressive than in the US, 100%. The UK system is considered one of the best for some earnings. The national living wage of £23,000. You pay 202,000 in taxes. Doesn't £23,000 go underneath the tax limit? Or does UK still have that? They had a limit of like if you earn less. Your YouTube audience sounds so... Oh yeah, 100%. There are weird people in YouTube. But there are like... I've had Irishing 8087, which is really... had a decent conversation, like really good conversation. There's a lot of good communities as well. But because there's a lot of trolls also in YouTube, so... People need to be more empathetic. I don't want rich people in America say... This is... I literally mentioned Irishing 8087, and this is people need to be more empathetic. I don't get why rich people in America say that I don't want to be paying for other people's healthcare. I mean, the blue collar workers run the economy, so why not? Oh yeah, okay. So in Britain it's £12,000 now. If you make 2 millions, will you really miss one of them? Yeah, that's a good argument. Like. It's fucking greed. That's the issue. We are a greedy species. And the reason why US will never, ever, ever... Well, okay, I hope never. But why US don't have free healthcare and like taking care of their... especially like children. Free healthcare for the children. That would be a good start. Because they don't want to pay taxes. And their tax dollars are going to fund wars that they start all the time. The house cost 1 million, so made töihin, as they say in Finland. I work 5+ days a week installing chimney caps 60 feet in the air and still don't make enough to even live in an apartment. That's why you need universal basic income, which would be funded by us who make more money, which would be great. Low-income children do not get free healthcare here. Do get free healthcare here. But I think it was New Mexico just a few months ago. Oh, no, in November. They provided free childcare for everyone. USA busy putting tariff on their allies, so... But the funny thing is, tariffs is a tax. But for some reason, Republicans are applauding tariffs. Yay! Because we're putting taxes on people's companies importing stuff. But taxes, as the word taxes, is all of a sudden like... It's a misconception that the Americans pay for our healthcare spread by US politicians. You guys actually spend the highest proportion of your GDP on healthcare than the rest of the G7. That is a good point. I don't know why that was censored, but I'll be the saint here and post that for you, Vindaloo. You'd be 100% if you tax adjusted. People only over 200,000 euros would be losing money and only marginally. See, there's there's really decent people in like in the YouTube comments as well. And slowly but surely, when we weed all the trolls away, I would argue that our YouTube comment section and community is going to be quite wholesome. And that's, for example, why we donate to charities. We planted trees. I've donated to HIV and AIDS research, because that should be the thing that you do if you're doing well, is you help people who are not doing well. MAGA are poorly educated. They claim to be true Christians, but absolutely don't follow any of its values. Why was that censored? Is this my job now? How is free healthcare a human right? It's not free like speech. What the fuck are you? Someone will always have to do this. It's great fantasy, but will never be possible unless we live in the... I mean, sorry, Shizu, but like, you were just complaining that you don't have enough money. So maybe you should like skip the economics conversation completely and talking about taxes and how we can actually provide free healthcare from people who live in countries that have that. This is one conversation that you might want to sit out, because apparently you don't have enough expertise to have a conversation around it. I'm not doing well, I'm sick and still working, so can you send me money? Different topics, so can you explain Sisu and how can I get it? Can I explain Sisu? I don't have Sisu anymore, no. Sisu is a candidate, no. I think it was Mika Häkkinen trying to explain Sisu to Captain Slow, James May from Top Gear. It is like courage, but it's a bit different than courage. You know? Show the skier doing the swamp run. What? What is that? What is the skier doing the swamp run? Do we have a video of that? Oh. This one. And by the way, I'm not from USA, but had lived there for 2 years. I've invested way too much time on like reading and studying US politics from like way too long. And I have to say that it's alarming that a person from Finland who lives in Ireland knows US politics better than a lot of people who are voting for MAGA. And even in MAGA, like in the government. But yeah, this is Sisu. Of course, Erika in TikTok can actually see what Sisu is, but we have a skier who's running around a swamp, exhausted. That guy has Sisu. Oh yeah. Well, you need to know they can do a lot of harm on the world with their stupid policies. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, Mika Myllylä's later career was kind of tarnished, but so the cost of living being higher than it has ever been means that I lack economic knowledge. Okay, but well, you kind of need to complain to your government then. If you live in the US, you're fucked. If you live in Finland and you apparently don't make enough money, you can get benefits for that. So you only know what the news tell you, but you know more than me. Well, Okay. I'll humor this conversation for two minutes. Who pays tariffs? Hey, Shisu, who pays tariffs? Think carefully. This might be the fastest. Oh, did the bot already got overheated? You realize I'm typing while on my break and you have a whole office setup low. Or you had time to type that, but you didn't have time to type the Americans. Come on, who pays tariffs? No, I asked you. You told me that you know about economics. Who pays tariffs? It's a really short and simple answer. EU news is generally non-partisan for US politics. No. Come on. Don't try to avoid it. Don't try to avoid the question. Who pays tariffs? All my prices went up, I pay for those tariffs. I know, Erica, but let's see if Shizup can say that. If tariffs are so good, why did Trump need to reduce the tariffs from coffee to make coffee affordable again? Why did Trump's tariffs and trade war with China make it so that Trump needed to bail out the farmers for $12 billion? Again. I don't support the tariffs, so who cares? No. Answer the fucking question, idiot. Who pays tariffs? This is my test of like, do you know? And also kind of shows me your true support even though you don't say who you support. Because only people who support that orange creature can't say who pays the tariffs. Yeah, I know. Then you can say that what Trump said was a lie, right? Trump for sainthood. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter, but I mean, if you're not willing to admit that the importers and eventually the US citizens and the consumers pay tariffs, we can't really have a proper conversation about the economy, you know? Okay. Well, I tried. This is, I give everybody on the YouTube chat a try. And sometimes when I'm wrong, I can admit it. But for example, when we're talking about tariffs, oh, again, apparently this is my life now. I'm just posting comments that gets censored by YouTube. That was actually... Oh, sorry, I needed to cut that short because the comment was too long. Yo, bro, do you believe that China is now building a technology that can control the aliens? Oh, yes, I am. 100%. Strange that YouTube is censoring comments of a specific liking. Donald Trump treats his personal relations with countries as the US relations. That's why he's so stupid. India didn't nominate him. This is... Even we pay for it. Oh, yeah. This is weird that YouTube is censoring anything that's being critical of Trump now. You look exactly like Whoopi Goldberg. God damn. I went from Ozzy Osbourne to Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah. I can see the resemblance, though. I do agree, Vindaloo. And why was that censored? My man. My friend's textile business was severely affected because of this. And it's gonna affect more and more people. But hey, as Mango Mussolini said, there sorry for using nicknames for Trump, but he uses nicknames for everybody else, so I should get a pass of using that as well. So, because what Trump said, they are bringing, what was it, 19 trillions in tariffs. I think Trump said it yesterday. Was it 19 trillions? I think it might have been lower. Literally 24 hours ago. Just waiting for Epstein files to be released so he can be jailed after 2028. I mean, it's Wednesday. And we should be getting those Epstein files Friday. And I can't wait. But I am sure that the United States is going to war with Venezuela, so we're not going to get Epstein files on Friday, unfortunately.
They should be used. And because of the tariffs, we've taken in more than 18, think of this, $18 trillion. There's never been anything like it. As an example, the previous administration, Sleepy Joe Biden, took in...
You're right. He had said 19 trillion. 30 trillion is the economy of the GDP of the entire USA, so he definitely bought his decree. Yeah, like literally, this is...
Less tariffs, we've taken in more than 18, think of this, $18 trillion. There's never been anything like it. As an example, the...
You know why there's never been anything like this? Because there's never been anything like this. Even now, there isn't anything like this, because this is completely fabricated and made up. The United States has not taken in 18 trillions in tariffs in the last 10 months. I don't know why Trump can't say it, like, accurately. Like, I don't, like, if Trump said that we have $18 trillion worth of deals, I would be fine with that. If he said that I have contracts with foreign nations like Japan, different European countries, Saudi Arabia, and the total of those contracts is 18 trillion, that would be fine. But because he's saying that we've been taking 18 trillions in tariffs in the last 10 months, then I have a bit of an issue, because that is a blatant lie. And nobody's calling out Trump on this. Well, there's a lot of people calling out, but none of his fans are calling it out. You should see John Bolton interview about Trump on 60 Minutes Australia. He exposed Trump badly, and Trump was super salty about that. Super salty. But yeah, like, and also, I want to emphasize, if Trump really did bring $18 trillion of tariffs, I would be glazing him as in 10 months, 18 trillion in 10 months. I would be glazing Trump as the best business mind ever. But because it's a lie, so I don't need to do that. He issued some traps after that. Boss, he is a pathological liar. There's a reason why he loves the poorly educated. There is a reason why he loves the poorly educated. I do know. I mean, oh my god, how many times do I bring this up? Montreal, cognitive test. Cognitive test. Was it Montreal? Yeah, cognitive test. How many times am I going to bring this up? As many times as I can. If you have a president that says that he's one of the smartest people around because he aced this test, he's not one of the smartest people around. That would mean that everyone in the US paid on average $45,000 on tariffs. True. No. Let's use the correct terminology. Taxes. They would have paid $45,000 in taxes. But I know the T word is a trigger word for the Republican Party, so we don't use the, well, tariffs also a T word, but the T word that they use is taxes. They said Tylenol, paracetamol causes autism. Oh yeah, I know. While RFK Jr. and Republicans and MAGA people were freaking out about Tylenol, us Europeans were like, who the fuck believes this? Like, what? And now they had the measles outbreak. I know I'm kinda jumping all over the place. Measles outbreak, record in USA. To 2025 measles surge in the US. This year, the country has seen an unprecedented surge in measles cases, the highest in more than 3 decades. And considering measles was deemed extinct from the US. Multiple outbreaks have been reported, including significant activity in Southern Carolina, Utah, Arizona, and Texas. Some outbreaks have led to quarantines, hospitalization, and even deaths. It was a matter of 3 to 4 inches. Oh, no. We can't, like, no. I don't want anyone to die. Like, I don't wish death to anyone, and I don't want the chat or our community to be that. Even if I disagree with people's political views, I don't think anybody deserves to get shot. I want to make that blatantly clear. Like, even if it's like, I had a conversation just a few streams ago. I don't think anyone has the right to take another person's life, period. Which causes a moral dilemma, because as one of my viewers said, that what about Hitler? I do believe that nobody has the right to take another person's life. Doesn't mean that we can't provide the means to take their own, because the only person who can take your life is yourself. So we could put those horrible people in small boxes in Antarctica. They can live there for the rest of their lives there, or they can take their own life. I'm furious. I went to the garden center and brought bird seeds. I planted them a month ago and still no birds growing. in mid-sentence, I was like, where the hell is this going? Liberals have warped minds. Did you get bird manure to grow them? Oh yeah, that's true. Did you make reclamation bunker? Abomination. Yeah, I'm just being dark, sorry. No, yeah. I don't know what to do, guys. The bird seeds are not very Pacific. Like, what seeds grow? What birds? I want to grow some pigeons and robin. I mean, have you tried typing that to AI and see what they recommend you? I would love to hear that response. What would AI say? But yeah. So thanks to the Make America Health Again Minister of the Angel of Death, Robert RFK Jr. Measles is coming back for the US. First, like, another comeback tour in the US. And unfortunately, it's because the health ministry of the US is trying their hardest to kill babies and kids. I am sure in midterms Republicans will lose badly. Then he will not be able to pass any important bill. I mean, I think he's just gonna take over the whole fucking thing before that. If he has any hunches that would be the case, he will just destroy the fucking government. He will just be a dictator after that. I don't know. I don't think, assuming the elections are legit. No widespread election fraud has ever been proven, except there was some ballots in 2000 in Florida, but there has been no convictions and no results when it comes to election manipulation and fraud. Your accent means you're a farther from America than me. I'm jealous. Jesus loves you. I am Jesus. How do you know I'm not Jesus? Just kidding. We make fun. We have some fun from time to time. Borat would have been a better president than Trump. I mean, at least Borat would have known a bit of the world. I can't type. If you're Jesus, then do a real miracle. Hey, don't tempt God. Thou shall not tempt God, or something like that. Lol, you're ignorant. Ignorant of what? Bunker the Pacific bird seeds should be refrigerated briefly before planting. There's your problem. Did you ask AI, Nick? That sounds exactly what a ChatGPT. No kings, no gods. But yeah, like, you shouldn't tempt God to make miracles. So you asking that question from me is blasphemous. No, that's all me. But that's a good that's good advice though. Did the press conference already start? Oh, we have a compilation. This is going to be on Friday. And Friday is going to be a big day because we'll hopefully get the Epstein files. If we are so moral, why disrespect someone's faith that makes you ignorant? I didn't disrespect your faith. I have this thing called freedom of speech. The same reason, like, if you want to make cartoons or drawings of different religious figures, you're under the freedom of speech to do that. I don't mind people believing. Like, I do understand people need to believe. You can believe what you want to. I don't believe. That's why I can talk, because I know there's no hell, so I don't go there. Can you show me that you're Jesus? He did miracles to prove he's the Messiah. He would only not do it to people who already knew he's God. Hey, thanks, Erica, for dropping by. Hope to see you again. I don't think that's how Jesus operated, though. Then don't use morality as your talking points. What the fuck are you talking about? Morality, like, religion doesn't have some sort of like owning of morality. Especially because religion was okay. Usually I don't dwell into that deeply when it comes to religion, but now that you invoke this conversation, religions are made by man. So if you don't want to hear this, I recommend fucking off. Because I do believe that people have the right, and if they want to believe, they can, because it gives them comfort. But when people bullshit, that's a different thing. And irrational belief is nothing to be proud of. All gods are human constructs. But if people find comfort in believing because they're afraid of dying, or if they're afraid of life itself, and that brings them comfort, be my guest. But when you start acting and behaving based on religion, and you're starting to be an asshole or killing people because of your religion, that's where I have a problem. That means your morale is broken. Then how did Jesus just magically rise from the dead if God isn't real? I mean, the same way that Frodo made to Mount Doom with the ring and destroyed it. are we really having this conversation? I try to be respectful for religious people, but if you want to, we can do this. The same way that Harry Potter survived Avada Kedavra from Voldemort. How much do you want? It's a goddamn story, child. Yeah. It's not a historical fact. And animal predation. If somebody claims that somebody is risen from the dead, either they weren't dead or they didn't rise from the dead. Are you finished? Yeah. Yes. You should have heard my long rant about Finland earlier.
Try and let us
Come on.
on that and the murder his home right outside of Boston. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Terces tried and let us on that.
Are you worried Russia attacking you? No, because I live in Ireland. Haha, there's a body of water between us. But yeah, I think that's been a threat ever since, like, forever. That's always been a threat. Especially during Putin's, like, 3-decade era. Why is it not? They had no reason to say he did, and then he died awfully death of Jesus, even with the option not to buy it, still decided to die for the... What do you mean? They had no reason to say. They created one of the most richest religions ever. And they can make people believe what they want to and manipulate them. What the fuck do you mean they have a reason? Catholics ate Jesus' body, that's why it disappeared. Like, Willem, I don't know where La La Land you live, but, like, if I wanted to have a lot of people in my control and make a lot of money and wealth, I would make story like that up, and if people believed it, I would milk that cow to the end of the years. And even in the Bible, they contradict themselves when it comes to, like, the resurrection of Jesus. The counts of the resurrection are different. Which one do you believe? Do you want Karelia to go back to Suomi? If Karelia wants to go back to Suomi, then yeah. Catholics are cannibals. They literally believe they are eating flesh and drinking blood. It's gross. If Karelia wants to come back to Finland, yeah, why not? If Karelia wants to be independent, I'm also for that. I have some roots in Karelia. Historically, Jesus was definitely real, probably a rabbi influenced by Eastern mysticism. The Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were written long after the death of the disciples. Wow. But never back to Russia. Never back to Russia. No, fuck no. I have Russian friends, so even they don't want to go back to Russia. Did you know this, that Russia tried to... 34 cars. Oh no, 30... Sorry, I'm writing in Finnish. There was 160 cars. It's called Made in China. Who is made in China? Whoever is saying this is abuse is wrong. He can't stop anytime. He will get water soon, so it's not good for them to guzzle water though. What? I have some weird comments. Hey Creeder, thanks for the sub. That's the opposite of what happened. They were predicted for their faith, and they're all the same name of the contradiction about his death. No, they contradicted how the story of the resurrection went. So what the hell? It's like reading Lord of the Rings wrote by 3 different authors. everybody's citing different things. It looks like as though Russia is weakening to a point that there are many I mean, this was breaking news in Russia, which is 160 cars were demanding that the Finnish border is opened, and Russia painted as Finnish border. People were painting this that there were like, it's a huge, huge thing. But these cars and the owners, these are Russian, not Finnish. But as you can see, they're painting that it's Finnish people that want the border to be opened. But these were all Russian people wanted to get back to Russia. And it was only 160 cars, and it was actually made by a person who's been paid by the Russian government. So 160 cars demanded the eastern border to be opened by the Union of Alexander. Union of Alexander is a Russian country-funded union in Finland for people who are Russian natives and Finnish Russian. On Monday, it's been 2 years since the Finnish and Russian border was completely closed. There's only one border crossing, and that's rarely used anymore. But yeah, this has nothing to do that Finns want Russia to be open. And this was, again, machined by Kremlin. Perhaps the whole peninsula could be unified. Am I the only one who is kind of bored already about somebody preaching about Bible stuff? Did you read about Bondi Beach terror attack? Oh yeah, I did remove. So I was getting bored about that topic already. But that's one thing that a lot of people, even in Europe, don't understand, that how much propaganda and also like hyper warfare Russia has implemented to Finland, not just within the last 5 years or so, but like for decades. Like decades, Russia has bombarded Finnish citizens and also other sources of propaganda. And now, especially when they invaded Donetsk and Luhansk in 2014, they started doing hyper warfare, which was one of the reasons why we also closed the border, because like they were utilizing the open border in hyper warfare. How much percentage of Finnish population are atheists? I would say quite a lot, actually. I don't know if there's a real percentage. Maybe Jutta can find that. But I would argue that at least 30%, 40% maybe. There was a boom of people quitting the church because, well, the church was doing some fucking bad decisions. How much, if Russia falls, would Finland be interested in taking control? Oh yeah, 100%. I could take control. If Russia falls, I could become the new emperor of Russia. Oh, sorry. I mean the democratic leader of Russia, not the emperor. 30% is good. No wonder it's so developed. And we even like the Christianity that is the main Christian religion in Finland is like the Lutheran Christian, which is a really niche fork of Christianity. It's not Catholic, but it's like we don't worship the Pope. With better education comes lower religious adherence. Yeah, and also in Finland, like we do teach all the religions ever since like elementary school. So I think that's also one of the reasons why a lot of Finns are knowledgeable when it comes to religions, all sorts of different religions, not just Christianity. We do have built Christianity still in like our school systems and in some politics. But lucky for us, throughout the last 2 decades, we have kind of dwindled that out. There are basic Finns who are the racist right-wingers that still want to make Finland a Christian country. There is no mega church, and I knew no one who went to church like every Sunday or something. We used to go to church with my friends when we were hungover just to wake up. I know that's kind of blasphemous as well, but it was a good wake-up call when the organ started playing, and because it echoed so fucking loudly, so if you had a bad hangover, like it kind of cured your hangover instantly. We've heard that Finnish education system is the best in the world. What do you think? It is one of the best, but is it renowned around the world? It's a double-edged sword. It is really good, but do you do as much with a Finnish university degree than you do, for example, with a British university degree around the world? No, you don't. So even though the education system is really good, you don't benefit from the education system anywhere else than in Finland. As someone from non-Abrahamic faith, I don't understand one thing why do Christians and Muslims are so concerned on converting people to their religion? Money and control. Okay, that's which, okay, no. Either mustache man you mean, it's still the wrong answer. That's an insta delivery to the band world saying that. Even if it meant Stalin, it's not even better. Either mustache man is bad. Canadian system is failing. We need a model to emulate. Being so close to America, we cannot escape their influence. I would say like Swedish, Danish, and Finnish version of school system and education isn't bad. Especially Canada could really benefit from it. I think Canada, it would be quite easy to implement that as well. And to be fair, Canada, once my kids move out from home, Canada is going to be our next destination. So could you make that happen? Make Canada European again. No, sorry. Aye, Captain. So, one thing that was interesting to follow was Philippines versus Australia that happened during the Bondi Beach. I'm trying. I mean, I know a few non-Muslim in Pakistan. They have made his life absolutely hell in Pakistan. Last year he moved to UK. So much dependence on religion is plain wrong. I do agree. I do know a lot of like moderate Muslims as well. Moderate Muslims means that, well, moderate Muslims, which they have a bit more progressive views around the world than like those hardcore believers back in their country who are willing to treat women as second grade citizens and such. I agree, intolerance is a hallmark of religion. ISIS being a possible influence for the shooter in the Bondi Beach terror attack was a twist. But then again, that's kind of what ISIS does good, is influence people. But Philippines getting sucked into that narrative was something that I didn't, out of all countries, I didn't think that Philippines would be sucked into. And all of a sudden, Philippines, the president of Philippines needed to come out and say that, hey, they weren't fucking trained here by ISIS. Just calm the fuck down. What is this stream about? News. News, politics, just casually chatting about, I think we chatted about Nokia as well. So it's kind of all over the place. Mostly news and politics. I would really love to visit the Middle East. The history is fascinating and there is a lot of potential for water reclamation, etc. Your voice is fucking good, dude. Use gravitas. I mean, I drink a lot of water. I smoke, so it's not gonna last long, so I need to use it as much as I can. You should hear me when I drink, like the day after. You know, everybody who's drank ever or got drunk ever, and you drink like whiskey and smoke a pack of cigarettes during the night, and the next morning you sound like a god. I wish I had that voice always. Yo, what do you do, man? At the moment, talking shit, reading news. Iran has so much unexplored archaeological potential. I mean, I share your eagerness to go there. Exactly the same reason, Nick. There's so much history in Syria. There's so much history in like around the Dead Sea that I would really want to go and pay a visit there. But unfortunately, it's a bit too unstable for me to go there at the moment. I have a family, so I can't go there. But I would really want to visit there. The same reason why I want to go to Nepal, why I want to go to like India, Bangladesh, all of those countries. They also have a lot of history there as well. Bro, who you kidding? You sound like a god 24/7. Ah, don't make me blush. I quit smoking after 30 years. Snooze is saving my ass. Oh. I used to use snooze when I was in Nokia, and I started to like, because if you use like really heavy nicotine snooze, you can start to like dissolve the inners of your mouth, and I could literally like almost tickle my eye. You should speak to a few Iranians. They told me that 80% of Iranian have already given up Islam. It's just their regime is too extreme, so they don't show it off. But people absolutely hate that regime. Yeah, they kind of changed after the Gulf War, and even a bit before that. The people are very lovely too, but their government is fucked. What do you think about the Göbekli Tepe excavations? It's too dangerous and too wide, damn it. Are you from Northern Europe? Yeah, I am. The theocratic dictatorship aren't great by. This is for you, Americans. Very in Ireland, yeah. I live in Cork. I used to live in Cork as well. But like I'm talking about the snooze we have in Sweden and Finland, which is different from what you guys use here. The thing that we used in Finland is called shit. Which is literally, oh, that's a small package. Oh, there you go. Found a picture for it. Oh no, I don't want to save it. Opening a new tab. This is what we used. Wait, you lived in Cork? Oh yeah, I lived for Cork for 2 years. We moved here up north in June. Yeah, we call this shit. Literally the Finnish slang word for this specific snooze was paska, which means shit. Do you still work in some company? Oh yeah, I do work. I've been working ever since I moved here, and also like I think I've had 2 years of my life like kind of work free. Wait, where are you? Where have you lived then, bro? Snorted up your nose and the black boogers. You put that in your upper lip, like there. You use a syringe to get it like compact as possible. Or you can roll it in your hands. I wouldn't recommend that because it will color your hands. And then you just inject that fucker in your upper lip. don't put that in your lower lip because it can actually like break something there. So I lived in Cork, in Passage West. Do you like getting roasted? I don't mind. I have a big nose. I have a big head. I have small arms. I'm 6'3". Yeah, go for it. Oh yeah, there's a snooze. There's no nose version snooze. I think it originated in Scotland, if I don't remember correct. Mistake. If I don't mistake. Nah, I'm too brutal. Go for it. Like, I don't mind. That's some really unhealthy shit, though. Don't recommend. So, I used to live in Cork, Ireland, in Passage West, which is a really beautiful part of the town next to the river. Literally. Oh, wait a second. Where are we? That's up the hill. So we live down here, like further down here. Bro, you're functional addict, bro. I love it. Using syringes for snooze. Yeah. Because you needed to get it like as tight as possible, because when you use that shit, that like black powder stuff, you really need to get it tight, otherwise it will just spread and it's not healthy to swallow. So, oh, you lived in the hill. Wait, Sir Reginald, wait a fucking second. I heard today that in an emergency situation, the human anus provides enough heat to hardboil an egg. I'm wondering how they found that out. I want that to be true. I so want that to be true. Drank at the hairy lemon. Internal body temp, baby. Gotta love human imagination, lol. Gallagher's too. So we lived in Cross River Ferries is there. So we lived in Glenbrook. That's the ferry. So we lived down. That's the Garda station. So here's where we lived. Literally here. I'm not certain about it. What if it's not an emergency? I wonder if that's a skill you can train. How do you get an egg up there without it breaking? I think that's skill. If it breaks, it's a skill issue. Right? Hurts, can't remember the name. The owner was a Turk. When's the last time you got a haircut? Two years ago. I don't know, 2 years ago. No, because I grow up hair so fast, which is making me a public enemy #1 for bald people. And also the target of envy for bald people as well. What up, Cody? Have you had McDonald's apple pie? I have not tried McDonald's apple pie. The usual thing I buy from McDonald's is only the strawberry milkshake, nothing else. Do you think in an emergency situation you could reheat the McDonald's apple? Sir Reginald is asking the important questions here. Well, you actually can, to be honest. Buddhist monks have been tested and have been shown to be able to increase their body temperature by a few degrees during a specific type of meditation, so wouldn't be a surprise. The Cork accent cracked me up so bad, I asked for directions the first day. Oh my fucking god, like, my landlord is, like, he's a native Cork, and he was like 60s or something like that, and half of the time I was having a conversation, I couldn't literally understand what he was saying. Here up in the north, I'm not gonna say directly where we live, but we live somewhere here-ish. I can understand people better. My third time back. Maybe the fourth time is the charm. But I gotta go. Hey, thanks for dropping by, Cody. Hope to see you again. Hot pocket. But yeah, like, people usually comment my hair, especially like when they have envy. Wait, you consider RI Northern Europe? No, I didn't point at Northern Ireland. I pointed Ireland. But I'm from Finland, so Finland is Northern Europe. I'm from Finland originally, but now I live in Ireland. I'm up in Belfast. I used to live in Belfast. I can even show you the place I used to live. Ah. Willowbank Gardens. God damn, I still remember, even though it's like over a decade. Yep, Waterworks is there. Antrim Road is here. Duncan Gardens Road is here. Yep. Yeah, I sub to chill vibes here. I try to be. I know there. Well, my friend lives in Willowbank. I can even go further than that. Maps. Does the map still work? Google Maps. I can show you the direct house. Willowbank Gardens. Belfast, UK. There we go. So if we take the little guy, drop it in Willowbanks, and shift ourselves, so it's not this one, it's that one. So we lived here. And it's actually the second floor, so we lived here. I missed that park. That park was awesome. And I like, if Brexit didn't happen, I want to emphasize, if Brexit didn't happen, we would be back in Belfast or Scotland. I love Belfast. I love Northern Ireland, but Brexit happened, so unfortunately, because of idiot governments before, we can't go there. What is your profession? How would I describe that without giving too much? I am managing an international group of people working on AI. There's thousands of people working, so responsible of thousands of people of different locations, mainly in Asia though. I walked past your door for years with my dog to the waterworks. You look like an elf from Lord of the Rings. Thanks. What do you think about Gen Z? I think Gen Z is the future. Like, there's gonna be a long form video of Gen Z and what they've accomplished that us millennials and boomers and no one else have done before, which is political change. Sup, pimp? What up? I knew it would be tech, huh? You cute tech vibes. I do love tech, though. But yeah, Gen Z has done something that no generation has been able to do, which is actually changing politics by uprising in a lot of different countries. Hey, Tony, thanks for the follow. And there's going to be a long form video of that. I don't know what the schedule on that, but it's going to be probably this week. When I was living there, it was Celtic Tiger. Apple was hiring thousands from all over Europe, lived with so many different people. During our time, it was Concentrix and Logitech. Have you heard about Nepal? I've heard about Nepal, and Nepal is going to be in that video. I'm going to dip. Nice stream, dude. Hey, thanks for dropping by. How do you pronounce your... Brekersoreo? Dude. See, yeah, my friend was involved in the uprising. They kicked the minister's butt badly. Oh yeah, and they dragged the Minister of Finances on his underwear around the streets. I freaking love that. But it was kind of... I followed that quite closely. I work for Convergys and First Source, so glad to be out of all that now. They were extremely corrupt. Then we had in Sri Lanka as well, Madagascar, Mongolia, Peru, Bulgaria. Did I forget somebody? I think I forgot somebody. There's been a lot of Gen Z uprisings around the world, which is a good thing. Belfast was such a beautiful city, though. I have not been in the Giant's Causeway, though. That is sad. I also found out that locals here in Ireland haven't really paid a visit to Belfast, which is surprising, though. I thought they would. Oh, wow, we have some speculation. Tonight, Trump will announce war with Venezuela. I also think that. Don't worry, it's not going anywhere. You should do a video of these countries. I'd watch it. No, there's going to be a video of those countries later this week. It's going to be about Gen Z, but all of those countries will be in that video. All the things are filmed already. Every recording is done. Now we just need to edit it, make it ready. So if you want to get a notification, I recommend subbing and also hitting the notification bell. But it's going to come this week. Okay, no, my editing is under pressure. 100%, yeah. These motherfuckers ban social media like Insta, Facebook, WhatsApp because lots of Gen Z were talking about their corruption. But when they did that, oh yeah. Wait, America is going to war with Venezuela. Fuck no. They have the place surrounded. They have a ship blockade. They have their battleships surrounding Venezuela at the moment. They've had them for a few days already. So they're blocking everything going in or out from Venezuela. And Trump announced yesterday that there's going to be a big announcement today. And nobody knows what that announcement is going to be. So, of course, we have speculations that... I like this channel. Do your woman shape... What? You first say you like this channel and then you follow up with that. Interesting. It's a disgrace that England won't let go. Fucking imperialist. I'm taking a dump right now. Your dad's cock is kind of like... How do you keep up with with politics so much to know all these different geopolitics? I think it's my autism. I'm really hyper interested in... Like, this is perfect for my ADHD because there's so many things going on in the world at the same time. So I can focus on all of those things to know, like, the general aspect of them. Some of them I know more than others. And I think it's that. It's a hobby, 100%. And I've always enjoyed talking about politics. And I think that's also one of the reasons why my political view kind of changed. And I started to dislike war more and more and killing more and more. I think that's why I started becoming more and more of a pacifist, is because how much I read about politics around the world. Do you watch football? Not that much anymore. I watch ice hockey more. But like, what are your sources? I used to enjoy politics, but we have such little insight in my country. From India, for example, I have Hindustan Times and NDTV. There's a few sources in Japan. Al Jazeera is a really good one when you want to find stuff from Middle East. Then you have your usual sources. Usually when I read the news, let's say I read this one, that the Finnish MP wants to apologize. Even though this is a trusted sources from the Finnish Yle, I usually find the same news in a few different sources and trying to figure out, like, what's the scoop, you know? Because if you read just one source, you just get one view of the news. Did you just use the TACO acronym? See, here's the problem with the whole theory. If Trump always chickens out, then what are you complaining about? What? Trump always chicken side. What am I complaining about? I'm complaining about that a lot of American citizens will suffer because Trump is incompetent. Is Al Jazeera biased though? I thought they were a good source, but then heard they were being dishonest about happenings. Every single news source has biases. That's why I run through a few news sources when I try to form an opinion. Also, as a person who works with AI, I am quite well equipped when it comes to AI using, providing me multiple different sources. And there are a few AI, usually they are the premium versions if you want to get like, and there's a few tricks you want to use if you use AI when it comes to like searching stuff. Trust but verify. Okay, now we're talking about the KGP. Where do you see in yourself on the political spectrum? Oh, I missed that one. Political spectrum. Do we have the chart here? The Finnish political spectrum chart is probably the best that we have. Of course, I need to translate it to you guys, but I'll use this one. Watch local live sources. They are interesting for understanding the motivations. Okay, so this is what the Finns use, which is the political spectrum. So we have your left, we have your right, we of course have the center, then we have the liberals and we have the conservatives. Pretty simplistic. On the political spectrum, this blue dot here would be the Democrats, which is like on the Finnish spectrum. Democrats would be here and Republicans would be kind of here. They wouldn't be considered right wing, either of them. The Republicans would be considered a more conservative, Democrats would be considered a bit more liberal. But where I would probably land myself is probably somewhere on this green dot here or even further down here-ish. I'm quite close to the center because I have a few right-wing things, but they're all to do with like regulated free market and the private sector. I would be center-left, probably. I wouldn't necessarily be on the conservative side. I think I would be below this line towards liberals and like center-left. Where would fascism and communism land? I think communism would land harshly left here. They're not liberals, though. And fascism. But there's left-wing fascism and there's right-wing fascism, so it depends. Fascism would be top right, communism would be the bottom left, depending on what you mean by communism and also what you mean by fascism. If you mean the end stage or the beginnings. Socialism. Again. Because like our Social Democratic Party is this red dot here. Our left-wing party is this one here, which is ironic. Even our center party is a bit like not in the center though. But this is, I think, these are all the political parties that we have. And I don't know what year this is. Not that it actually even makes sense anymore. Finns Party isn't on the left side of that. Yeah, this looks a bit more accurate though. Essentially, yo, what up, LTR veteran? Essentially, liberalism and conservatism are dichotomous scales of freedoms, and communism and capitalism are... That's a fucking big word. I need to learn how to pronounce that. I love that. I'll steal that word from you. Thank you very much. This is the flaw of not being a native English speaker. Yes, it's confusing. That's why I was asking about extremes. Will you marry your homies if they become women? Yeah. Well, no, I'm married already. But if I wasn't married and they require me to marry them, like, if there is a reason or if there's a dare, I don't see any problem with that. I would marry them if they weren't a woman. They're my homies, you know? If you can't marry your homies, they're not really your homies. Man, if your wife hears it, you're a cook. No, I'm not. Why, like, what the hell? Maintaining long hair must be tough. It's actually easier than you think. Yes, that makes sense. Capitalism and communism are economic systems. Socialism and conservatism are political. Jutta is right there. We were just talking about man crushes the other day because we got a, like, I think it was a few days ago, we got a proper person who was afraid of gay people in the chat. And I was talking about man crushes. If you can't have a man crush, I have bad news for you. Well, good news for you. You're still in the closet. Because you're afraid that you might like it. Not political, but about freedom, but essentially yes. Which ideology do you support? Trump, Blue, Bill Clinton. Yeah, I do think so. Well, none of the political ideologies are good in itself. And again, there was a person who says that you can't have both worlds, and I call that bullshit. For example, you need a healthy public sector and you need a healthy private sector. That's why pure capitalism is shit and pure socialism is shit. You need both. And the only place in the world that you actually have a proper balance is in the Nordic countries. And no one should support any ideology blindly. I support progressive right wing. I think progressive right wing would kind of be, it depends also like in which country do you live in. Progressive right wing in Finland would be more towards center than it would be in America, because you only have two spectrums in America. You have right or left. You don't have the nuances between them. After seeing the chart, I'm not sure where I land. Yes, how I always date capitalism and communism is about your view on economics, and conservative liberalism is about your view on social rights, because this is the core. In India, we have mixed economy, but corruption has destroyed us. Yes, and corruption isn't solely based on one. Both economic ideologies have corruption. In India, problem is that people are too much dependent on freebies and government. Nah. That sounds like something American would say. We were just talking about it earlier this stream. Like, I make enough money to provide my family and myself a good life. I am willing to pay higher taxes, and I'm completely fine with it because it's going to help people who don't make as much as me. Are not. Yeah, corruption is a human problem and humans do politics, so it's independent for either side, to be fair. 100%. Oh, you're Indian. Huh. I have Indian reports that report to me. And I can say they don't get that much benefit, so I don't know what you're talking about. I'm on the opinion that competition can be utilized positively, but that education, health, safety, food, shelter, and human rights, there is enough. Mic drop. Hey geezer, what up, Jess? Thank God you did not choose one. Corruption can be managed. Like, that's why a healthy public sector and a healthy private sector. There are things that should never be privatized. And those are considered to be essential for living. And what things those are? Well, Nick kind of already lists a good number of things. I would add electricity and other, like, there's things that should not be for profit. And then everything else would be privatized. Bro, did you know what's happening in Gaza? I do know what's happening in Gaza. I've been following Gaza since 2004. Did you just learn about Gaza? Although I'm totally on the left, Nick, I think everyone would be better off in your version of society than the current ones, regardless of views on macroeconomics. We mustn't incentivize health. Privatizing health is one of the fucking weirdest things ever. Oh, you just got your wrist broken, you're going to the doctor, and now you're bankrupt. Oh, you want your life-saving medicine. Tough luck, Cookie. Your insurance doesn't cover it. Hopefully you have $100,000. I thought I was a socialist until I saw the chart. That's why whenever I get slandered to be a socialist or a communist, even though I do share some views when it comes to socialism. For example, when it comes to the public sector. But if you saw the chart we were talking about, we're not that far left. Our healthcare is better than America. One, as far as I heard about American healthcare. American healthcare is shit. I've been called a communist and worse for saying those things. Yeah, but I don't kind of care anymore. Like, usually when people call, for example, when MAGA people and Trump called Zoran Mamdani a communist, that just shows ignorance that you don't actually understand what a communist is. They are calling Democrats the far left. And let's take the political spectrum again. I can show you what's the difference between Democrats and Republicans. Literally. And this is hard for people from America to understand. But Americans, so this is the right, this is the left. Republicans would be somewhere around here, maybe even a bit more right. And the only difference with Democrats is Democrats would be below this chart, which is towards the liberal side, but they would still be on the right fucking side of the spectrum. So Republicans calling Democrats far left activist doesn't make sense for us Europeans, because Democrats aren't left-wing. They're still pro-corporation, pro-big pharma, pro-capitalism, doesn't want social welfare to be better, doesn't want free healthcare. There is nothing left-wing that the Democrats want. That's the difference. Defense mechanism. Someone says they want everyone to be fed, housed, and healthy. Only to come back is to call them communist. Yeah. People think socialism is communism, but socialism is just the umbrella term for leftist values, with communism is the furthest left in the umbrella. Yes. America is the late stage capitalism. I don't care personally, but try working with these people. Honestly, I think Yanis Varoufakis got it right in his book, stating that America is now a techno-feudalism instead of late-stage capitalism, though I guess you could argue it's semantics. I think the only way that those two parties can actually fight against each other in every election is to paint the picture for dumb Americans. Not all Americans. The youth of America is picking it up. They are starting to understand that, hey, wait a fucking second. They are both on the right side of the spectrum. There is no left. So then they start changing politics. They start to implement the changes inside the parties. But there is no difference whether you vote for Republicans or Democrats. Nothing changes. Honestly, I think for Trump, if any politicians say anything about people's welfare in terms of healthcare, education, etc., he will term them as pure far left evil socialist communist. Oh yeah. That's also pretty thick coming from Trump, considering like Trump has promised a healthcare system for 2 weeks ever since 2016. Since 2016, he said, in 2 weeks you will get my version of the healthcare. In 2 weeks I will provide you a healthcare. In 2 weeks I will reform healthcare and destroy Obamacare. In 2 weeks I will do this. In 2 weeks I will do this. Now we are 9 years later. Still no healthcare plan from Trump. They have a concept of a plan ever since 2018, but still no healthcare renewal. When people realize that in the West we live under elective dictatorships, a lot of change will happen in the West, I think. Gen Z is going to be the driving force. I don't want to make predictions, but I'm going to make a prediction because fuck it, it's fun. So, in the next, before 2030, there is going to be an uprising in Russia orchestrated by Gen Z. There's going to be an uprising in the UK orchestrated by Gen Z, in Germany, and in the United States by Gen Z. Coca-Cola made of sugarcane, that's his version of healthcare, 100%. The belief that America and Canada are meritocracies had led to a population of people who hate themselves for their failure, when it is a failure of society. Diet or light? No, zero. Diet and light have aspartame and zero has stevia. Have you watched Family Guy? Of course I have watched Family Guy. Have you watched the new episodes of South Park? That's the important question. That is also the topic we're gonna end. Have you watched the new episodes of South Park? If you haven't, I highly, highly, highly recommend go checking the new episodes of South Park.
Okay. Mr. President, sir, the Prime Minister of Canada is here to see you.
Mr. President, why are you placing these new tariffs on Canada? What are you, some kind of dictator from the Middle East?
A dictator from the Middle East? Hey, relax, guy. I'm just your average Joe. Take a rest.
The people of Canada will not be devalued like this.
Okay. Would be fun though to be paid by Paramount. I would love that. Oh my god, some fucking Russian bot commented. Alright, hey guys. It's been a fun 2 hours. I actually went overtime because I was having fun talking with you. 51st State of America, I still remember that 100%. We're gonna be online tomorrow because Trump is gonna address the country today, but it's gonna be so late that it's gonna have to be tomorrow. So tomorrow will come online, even though I was planning to have a day off, but because what Trump is gonna say today will be the topic we're gonna have a conversation tomorrow. So hope to see everyone. If you can't make tomorrow, hope to see everyone soon. Also, Christmas is coming, so remember to relax, spend time with your friends, your family. Just enjoy, take care of yourself, and good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Take care, guys. I'll probably be on tomorrow. Then I don't normally join streams, but this is a really nice environment. I really enjoyed having a conversation with every single one of you guys. Like, even if like we don't necessarily agree with everybody, like with everything, but if we be civil, if we don't start to just yell and hate each other, then we can have a conversation. As long as we just stay on topic and stay civil, we can have a conversation even if we disagree. Totally agree to disagree. Nah. Take care, guys.